Hello, my friend. Welcome to Sleep Hypnosis, the Sea. My name is Mushroom. It is an honor to be the voice you listen to as you drift into rest tonight. Let's begin with a few moments of relaxation. This is your safe space, a place to let go, to rest. Take a slow, gentle breath in and breathe out softly, feeling your body sink deeper, like a stone settling into calm water. The world outside can wait. Nothing is needed of you now. In front of you, there is a quiet door. The handle glows faintly in the dim light. As your hand touches it, a gentle warmth spreads through your fingers, and when the door opens, it does not lead to worries or lists or noise. It leads to something softer, a place made only for you. Now, step through this door with me into a story that soothes your heart and carries you gently into sleep. You shuffle a little under your blanket, feeling the fabric brush gently against your skin, as if it were part of the story itself. You let out a sigh that sounds suspiciously like a balloon losing air. No worries, you are the balloon, and tonight we're letting all that air go, every ounce of tension, just hissing away until you feel like nothing but softness. Your breath slows. Inhale, a little deeper. Exhale, a little longer. You don't have to make it perfect. Nobody here is grading you. You're allowed to let this breath be a little messy, like an artist's first draft, because the point is not perfection, it's release. As your chest rises and falls, your body starts to remember something older than your to-do lists, older than your deadlines, the natural rhythm of rest. Every animal on earth knows how to do this, even cats, who somehow sleep 18 hours a day, stretch and flop, and let their whole body melt into gravity as if they've just won a personal war against stress. You can learn from them. Tonight, you get to be a cat, without the hairballs, of course. The muscles in your face soften. Your jaw loosens. Your shoulders, oh, those tired shoulders that have been carrying invisible backpacks full of shoulds and musts all day, sink down. It's as if someone kindly took those heavy straps off for you. Imagine setting them aside. They'll still be there tomorrow if you really want them back. But for now, the weight is gone. And with every breath, you're stepping down, step by step, into a gentler world. Imagine a staircase spiraling downward, not made of wood or stone, but of cloud. You don't even need to lift your legs. Your body just floats down, each step dissolving under your feet. 1, 2, 3, lower and lower. As you drift down, your mind starts playing tricks of softness. You catch little flashes of memory, half-forgotten afternoons, maybe a park where you once lay in the grass, maybe the way sunlight hit favorite window. These flashes are harmless, like butterflies passing through your thoughts. They aren't here to remind you of tasks. They're here to remind you that your brain still remembers beauty, even in exhaustion. And speaking of exhaustion, you've felt it, haven't you? That bone-deep depletion, the kind where your body feels like it's running Windows 95 software while the world expects you to perform like the latest smartphone. You keep pressing buttons, and all you hear is the tired whir of a dial-up modem inside your soul. Tonight, though, we're upgrading you, not to something shiny and frantic, but to something calm, ancient, and enduring. You keep descending, and suddenly you find yourself not on a staircase, but standing in a cavern of quiet. The ceiling above is high, like a cathedral, but instead of stone, it's woven from a kind of night sky fabric. Stars glitter faintly there, pulsing in rhythm with your breathing. Each star feels like it belongs to you, like a person lantern hanging overhead. And you remember the human body itself holds a sky inside. Did you know, for example, that every atom in your body was once part of a star? It's true. That tired hand you just unclenched, that weary heart inside your chest, they're built of cosmic dust, and isn't that wild? You're literally stardust, lying here, worrying about whether you remembered to reply to that email. Imagine a star apologizing for not doing the dishes. The absurdity makes you smile, or at least twitch your lips. That's enough. Historians still debate whether humans thousands of years ago understood this cosmic connection, or simply gazed up at the night sky in awe. But you don't need to debate it tonight. You only need to let the thought rest in your mind, like a pebble dropped into a calm pond. The ripples spread, and with them, peace spreads too. You take another breath. Your lungs expand like sails catching wind, then deflate slowly, releasing the air like a soft whisper. Each breath feels less like something you have to do, and more like something the universe does for you. You're no longer forcing it. You're being breathed, rocked gently like a child in the cradle of night. And then something shifts. You're walking along a path that wasn't there before. The ground beneath you is smooth, cool, and glowing faintly, as though lit from within. It feels safe, like walking barefoot on polished stone that never cuts, only supports. Each step takes you deeper into stillness, into silence. Except the silence isn't empty. It's filled with faint echoes, like voices from the past, not sharp enough to disturb you, but soft enough to guide you. One voice hums, almost like a lullaby. Another recites something ancient, maybe a prayer, maybe a line of poetry. You don't catch the words, but you don't need to. They sink into you like rain into thirsty soil. Your arms grow heavy, your legs heavier still. You might even forget which way you're facing. It doesn't matter. All that matters is that the tension you've carried all day is peeling off, layer by layer, like old wallpaper that was never really yours to begin with. And just as you reach the deepest part of this path, you stumble, oh, not in a frightening way, more like when you trip in a dream and realize gravity forgot to finish its job. You hover for a second, caught between falling and floating, and then you float. The air itself holds you. A breeze brushes your skin, not cold, not hot, just the perfect temperature that makes your body sigh with relief. It smells faintly of salt water and pine, like the edge of a forgotten coastline. You realize you've been delivered to the entrance of sleep, not the shallow tossing and turning kind, but the kind where your body actually repairs itself, where the cells in your muscles knit back together, where your nervous system recalibrates, where your brain takes out the trash, literally. Fun fact, did you know your brain has a cleansing system called the glymphatic system? It's like a night janitor sweeping away waste proteins while you sleep. No mop and bucket though, just cerebrospinal fluid doing the midnight cleaning shift. So tonight, you're not just sleeping, you're being repaired, recharged, reassembled into the version of you that can laugh tomorrow, that can move tomorrow, that can keep going without dragging exhaustion like a ball and chain. The deeper you go, the more your body understands that rest is not laziness. Rest is rebellion. Rest is radical. Rest is survival. Even in history, great leaders and thinkers guarded their rest. Napoleon, for example, was famous for napping at odd hours. Though, fair warning, he also sometimes fell asleep during meetings, which, depending on your job, might not be the best career advice. But you don't need to conquer Europe. You only need to conquer your pillow. And so, you lie back, sinking into a mattress that feels suddenly like a raft. The stars overhead swirl once more, then fade gently, a soothing darkness. Your eyelids grow heavier, your body drifts lighter, and the descent into rest becomes complete. Sleep begins to pull you into its ocean. You surrender, and the only effort you need to make now is no effort at all. The darkness that surrounds you is not emptiness, but depth. It feels like slipping into the ocean at night, not cold, not frightening, but infinite. Every inch of your body feels suspended in this water of silence, as though you've been lowered into a sea made just for you. The surface world of buzzing phones, half-finished emails, and unanswered messages drifts further and further away until it might as well belong to another planet. And you are floating. Your breath moves in and out, and the water moves with it. Each inhale pulls the tide gently toward you. Each exhale lets it retreat. The whole sea obeys your rhythm. Imagine the power of that. The ocean itself syncing up with your tired lungs. You are no longer just a person lying in a bed. You are the tide. You are the ebb and flow of everything. You drift deeper, and the water beneath you glows. Not with sunlight, but with something stranger, soft blue lights, like the lanterns of plankton. Did you know that more than 80% of deep-sea creatures can glow? They use bioluminescence to find food, to hide, to talk in flickering Morse code that no human dictionary could ever translate. Right now, their glow is just for you, as if every small creature in this imaginary ocean is whispering, "Rest, rest, rest." You chuckle quietly. Of course, your imagination had to pull in glowing sea creatures. It's like your subconscious put on a full underwater light show, and you're the VIP guest. The ticket price? 1 yuan. You notice how weightless you feel here. Fatigue doesn't press down the same way. Instead, it dissolves, the way salt disappears into seawater. You can't even see where the heaviness went. It's just gone. And then a current moves beneath you, carrying you forward without effort. You don't paddle, you don't kick, you simply allow. And that, right there, is the trick your body has been trying to teach you all along. You don't always have to struggle upstream. Sometimes healing comes when you let yourself be carried. As you float, little fragments of history bubble up because even the ocean remembers. Did you know that the ancient Phoenicians, seafaring traders thousands of years ago, were among the first to map the stars for navigation? They looked up at constellations like Orion and Ursa Major to find their way across waters that seemed endless. You too are navigating tonight, but your stars are inside, little sparks of peace, little lanterns of breath, guiding you across exhaustion into renewal. Historians still debate whether the Phoenicians invented the earliest alphabet or simply adapted one, but either way, they wrote their way into history while traveling across seas. Tonight, you're rewriting your own tiredness. Each slow breath is another letter, another word, another sentence that quietly says, "I am safe, I am resting, I am healing." The current carries you further, and the water grows warmer, softer, like being wrapped in velvet. You almost laugh because, let's be honest, velvet water sounds like a terrible laundry problem. But here, in this dreamlike sea, it's perfect. You glance below, and the ocean floor isn't barren. It's blooming. Coral sways in time with your breath, waving gently like hands cheering you on. Fish flash silver and gold, darting but never colliding, like a carefully choreographed dance. Every color feels deeper, richer than the waking world allows. And in this ocean, you feel not like an outsider, but like someone returning home. Your heartbeat syncs with the pulse of the waves. Your nerves quiet down. The buzzing static that exhaustion leaves in your skull fades, replaced by something steadier, a hum, a rhythm, almost a song. That's when you remember people have always used the sea to heal. In Victorian times, doctors prescribed sea air for the weary and sick, insisting patients walk along coastal promenades to recover their health. Sure, they might not have understood the science fully. Duckstacks lead and wandering doll, but they weren't entirely wrong. Salt air, negative ions, the sound of waves, it does something. It lowers stress. It softens the edges of your mind. It's been medicine for centuries. And here, in this boundless ocean of rest, it's medicine for you too. You stretch your arms, though you don't need to move them. The water stretches with you. Every fiber of muscle, every bone feels rinsed, bathed, unburdened. The aches you carried like barnacles begin to flake away, drifting down, dissolving before they hit the seafloor. For a moment, you wonder what it would be like to live underwater. The thought makes you smile. Imagine sending emails as a dolphin, squeaking at your boss. Imagine paying rent in seashells. Imagine complaining that your Wi-Fi doesn't work because a jellyfish is blocking the signal. You snort quietly at your own imagination, then relax again, letting even the humor dissolve back into calm. The current pulls you gently toward a cave of light. Its entrance is wide, shimmering with curtains of bubbles that rise like champagne. You pass through, and suddenly you're inside a dome where the water turns to air. You're still floating, but now it feels as if you're suspended in a bubble of calm carved out of the ocean itself. The ceiling glows faintly, the walls hum. You realize this is not just a place, it's your body. You've entered the core of yourself. This is where healing begins. Your breath deepens, inhale, exhale. The sound of waves lingers in your ears, even though there is no shore. It's as if the sea has moved inside you, taking up residence in your ribcage. Each breath pulls the tide in, each exhale lets it go, and slowly you notice a shift. Your exhaustion is not chasing you anymore. It's being transmuted, recycled, like driftwood becoming part of the ocean's rhythm. You don't need to fight it. You only need to float, to trust, to allow. One by one, your thoughts quiet, not by force, but by absorption, as if the sea swallows them kindly. Your modus-like to-do list washed away. That conversation you keep replaying, dissolved. The nagging voice of doubt, drowned out by the lull of waves. It's just you now. You and the ocean, you and the rhythm, you and the renewal that's been waiting underneath the noise all along. The deeper you sink into this sea of rest, the lighter you become. And the lighter you become, the more you realize this is not just a dream. This is the truth of sleep, the miracle of rest, that the ocean of renewal is not outside you, it is you. And so you surrender completely, letting the waves hold you, letting the healing happen without effort, without struggle, without resistance. The sea slowly releases you, carrying you not back to shore, but into something even softer. As the waves fade, you feel your body being set down gently, like a feather landing in soil. The ground beneath you is warm, fragrant, alive. When you open your senses, you realize you've arrived in a garden. This is not an ordinary garden. No neat flower beds, no manicured hedges. Instead, it's endless and wild, but in a comforting way. Lush vines dripping with dew, trees heavy with fruit that shimmer faintly in the moonlight, and flowers so large and colorful they look like they were painted by a child with too much imagination and not enough restraint. You take a breath. The air here feels different, sweet, almost electric. With each inhale, you feel it filling your chest like a balloon, but instead of stretching painfully, your body expands with lightness, with vitality. It's as if each lungful is a sip of pure energy, a reminder that you can recharge, that tiredness doesn't own you forever. You walk, though your feet don't disturb the ground. The grass bends willingly, springing back without complaint. Every step feels like plugging yourself into some unseen current, drawing power not from caffeine or sheer stubbornness, but from something older, something the earth itself offers. A soft path winds ahead, paved with smooth stones glowing faintly, leading you deeper into the heart of the garden. As you follow, you notice fruit trees leaning over the path. Apples, pears, figs, and something that looks suspiciously like mangoes, but sparkles faintly as though dusted with starlight. One falls near your hand, and though you don't eat it, simply touching it feels like sipping water after a long thirst. This is the garden of energy, the place inside you where renewal grows naturally. You don't need to force it, or hustle for it, or negotiate with it. It's already here, waiting. As you wander, the garden offers you sounds too. A faint trickle of water from a spring nearby, birdsong so delicate it sounds like chimes, leaves rustling as if they're whispering secrets to each other. You can't make out the words, but you understand the feeling. They're telling you to rest, to recharge, to let go. You pause beside a tree whose trunk is wider than your arms could wrap around. Its bark pulses faintly, like a heartbeat. You press your hand against it, and suddenly you feel the tree's age stretching back centuries. You catch flashes of rainstorms it has survived, winters it has endured, summers it has thrived in. The tree whispers to you, not in words, but in certainty. You, too, can endure. Exhaustion is only a season. Energy always returns. Did you know that in ancient Greece, people believed trees themselves carried healing powers. Sacred groves were places where the sick and weary would come to recover. They lay beneath olive trees or oaks, believing the spirits of the trees could restore their strength. Historians still debate whether these rituals were purely spiritual or whether there was something in the air of those groves, chemicals released by leaves, the calming effect of green spaces, that brought real healing. But you don't need the answer. You're already feeling the truth in your body now, standing in this boundless, eternal garden. You wander deeper, and the path leads you to a pool of water, clear and glowing faintly blue. Its surface is so still, it reflects the sky above like a mirror. You kneel, dip your hands in, and feel the coolness run through your veins. Fatigue drains from your fingertips into the pool, while new energy climbs up your arms, flowing into your heart, your mind, your muscles. It's almost comical, the sensation, like your body has just plugged into a universal charger, except instead of USB cables, you're using moonlight and flowers. You smirk at the thought. Low battery? Just connect to the mystical garden Wi-Fi. Your inner voice chuckles and then fades, replaced by cool. You lie back on the grass, feeling the blades cradle you as gently as any mattress. The earth hums beneath your spine, feeding you strength you didn't know you still had. Every nerve calms, every ache softens. Even the tight knots in your back, those stubborn spots that even massage chairs give up on, begin to release. As you gaze upward, the stars above are brighter here, framed by branches that arch like cathedral windows. And in that view, you realize how much your body craves this. Not constant movement, not endless effort, but balance. Rest and energy are partners, not enemies. Your eyelids flutter, heavy but not from fatigue this time, heavy with peace. The garden lulls you like a parent tucking in a child, and you remember, across history, gardens have always been symbols of renewal. From the hanging gardens of Babylon, one of the 7 wonders of the ancient world, to the healing monastery gardens of medieval Europe, humanity has turned to green spaces for restoration. Truth is, you carry a piece of that garden inside you. The brain, when quieted, grows new pathways, repairs itself like vines weaving back together. The body, when allowed to rest, restores tissues, resets hormones, balances its inner garden. And so, as you breathe in the sweetness of this place, you feel it becoming part of you. The energy here is not borrowed, it's yours. It was always yours. Exhaustion is temporary. Resilience is permanent. The garden hums with that truth. Flowers nod as if in agreement. The water glows a little brighter. A warm breeze passes through the trees, wrapping you in its arms. And in that breeze, you hear laughter, soft, playful, almost teasing. You imagine the garden itself making a joke at your expense. Oh, you thought you were running on empty? Silly human, you were just overdue for a recharge. You grin, eyes half closed, and let the joke carry you deeper into the softness. The garden doesn't fade when your eyelids close. Instead, it grows brighter inside your mind. Its colors, its scents, its energy flowing into you like roots sinking deeper into soil. And so, you rest, not in emptiness, but in fullness, not in depletion, but in renewal. The garden of energy holds you, nourishes you, restores you, and with every slow breath, you bloom again. The garden slowly releases you, like a dream loosening its grip as you step into another. The grass beneath you becomes stone, smooth, pale, and cool against your feet. A narrow road appears, stretching forward into mist. You can't see the end of it. You can't even see more than a few steps ahead, but somehow you know this is your way. This is the forgotten path. You begin walking, your steps steady but light, each one echoing faintly as though the stones remember you. The mist curls around your ankles, not cold, but comforting, like walking through a veil that hides everything unnecessary from your vision. Out here, there are no clocks, no screens, no deadlines, just the path, the stones, and you. It's strange how familiar it feels, though, as if you've walked here before, maybe in another dream, maybe in another lifetime. The thought makes you smile, and you shrug to yourself. Why not both? The mist shifts, revealing old lanterns along the misty road. Their flames flicker lazily, though no one seems to be tending them. You realize the lanterns don't need caretakers. They're powered by memory itself. Each glow is a little piece of you, a day when you felt alive, a moment of laughter, a time you carried on when you thought you couldn't. The path isn't forgotten at all. It's been holding your strength for you, waiting until you came back to claim it. You touch one lantern gently. The flame inside dances brighter, and in its glow you see a scene from your past, maybe a day you'd long buried under layers of exhaustion. You see yourself laughing with someone you loved, or maybe running wildly through rain, or maybe lying on the grass when you were a child, staring at clouds and swearing you saw dinosaurs in their shapes. The vision vanishes quickly, but not before it leaves something behind. A spark of warmth in your chest, a reminder that energy isn't just physical, it's joy, it's memory, it's spirit. You keep walking, and the many thickens, swirling in strange shapes. For a second, you see the outline of a horse. Then it melts into smoke again. You see the faint suggestion of a ship's sail, then gone. You realize the path itself is trying to remind you of stories humanity has walked before you. A fragment of history drifts into your mind, almost carried by the mist itself. The Silk Road, one of the greatest paths ever carved into earth, where traders carried silk, spices, jewels, and ideas across continents. It wasn't just a road for goods, it was a road for knowledge, for dreams, for resilience. People walked it for months, even years, carrying their exhaustion across deserts and mountains, but also carrying renewal, the promise of reaching something new. Historians still debate whether the Silk Road was more about cultural exchange or economic power, but in the hush of this dream, you feel the answer doesn't matter. What matters is that people always find paths to carry them forward, and you are fine. Your steps echo like drumbeats, and the sound soothes you. It's almost funny. You think about how much we complain about walking in waking life. Too far, too tiring, my feet hurt. Yet here, walking is pure medicine. Each step feels like it recharges you, like your bones are remembering how to be light again. You laugh under your breath. Imagine telling your past self, stumbling out of bed this morning, "Don't worry, later tonight you'll be walking a magical, misty road that recharges your soul." Your past self would roll their eyes and mutter, "Cool, but can it make coffee?" The mist parts slightly, and ahead you see an archway made of stone. Its carvings are ancient. Spirals, waves, suns, moons. You run your fingers across them as you pass, and the stone hums faintly, as if acknowledging your presence. Beyond the arch, the path continues, but the air grows warmer. The mist glows golden, and with it, your chest feels lighter. The weight of fatigue, those invisible bricks you've carried, begin to slip away one by one. You almost picture yourself like an overworked mule shedding its packs, finally free to wander without burden. On one side of the path, a stream appears, flowing in silence. Its water is so clear you can see pebbles at the bottom, each one shining like a jewel. You crouch and dip your hand in. The coolness spreads through you like a secret medicine, waking your body without jolting it, refreshing you without rushing you. You realize, with a quiet chuckle, that it's better than coffee. Imagine explaining to someone that you just dipped your hand in dream water and now you feel brand new. They'd think you've lost it, but you know, you feel it. The forgotten path doesn't care about logic, it cares about restoration. You rise and continue walking. The lanterns glow brighter now, the mist thins, and the stones underfoot shine faintly. Each step is easier. Your arms swing loosely, your shoulders no longer hunched but relaxed. You feel yourself returning slowly, gently, but undeniably to the rhythm of strength. Another memory flickers before you, a moment in history when people found strength in the middle of exhaustion. You recall the story of the first marathon, the Greek soldier Phidippides running from Marathon to Athens to deliver news of victory. He was exhausted beyond measure, yet he carried on. Now historians still debate whether the story happened exactly as told or if it's partly myth. But again, it doesn't matter. What matters is the image, a human body stretched to its limits, still carrying through. And if he could, you can too, in your gentler, quieter way. The path winds further, and you notice it beginning to slope downward, gently, like a slide you don't need to fear. You let yourself lean into it, gliding with ease. The mist glows brighter, turning into soft beams of light. It feels like the road itself is smiling at you. And at that moment, you realize the truth of the forgotten path. It was never truly forgotten. It lives in you, in every tired moment where you still got up, in every day you thought you couldn't continue but somehow did, in every step, literal or metaphorical, that you've ever taken. You smile, eyes half closed, and keep gliding forward. Because the path hasn't ended, it leads somewhere deeper still, somewhere waiting for you. And so you walk on, lighter, freer, renewed. You're already deep into this dreamlike journey, your body practically sinking into the mattress, as if gravity had doubled just for you. And yet, it doesn't feel heavy. It feels as though every ounce of tiredness you've been carrying has slowly melted into the sheets. That bone-deep fatigue, the kind that once sat in your joints like wet sandbags, is being gently absorbed by the night itself. What remains is this glowing awareness, like you've tapped into a hidden battery you didn't know you had. Tonight is about not only letting go of exhaustion, but opening up to the infinite stream of renewal that flows through you, quietly, endlessly, whether you notice it or not. You stretch slightly, or at least imagine you do, and it feels as though your very cells stretch with you, drinking in invisible sunlight. The body you thought had given all it could surprises you. It's still humming, still pulsing with sparks of energy, waiting to be felt. It's like those old lamps that flicker and dim for weeks, and then suddenly, one evening, bam, they shine like brand new. Energy, resilience, vitality. They are not gone. They are waiting for you. The Romans knew a thing or two about renewal, oddly enough. When they built aqueducts, they weren't just delivering water. They were crafting a system of resilience. Fresh water meant crops could flourish, baths could soothe aching muscles, and life could endure through dry seasons. That ancient engineering wasn't just practical, it was spiritual. A recognition that renewal is not an accident, but something you build into your world. And lying here, letting your breath flow like the soft arc of water through an aqueduct, you feel that same truth. You can build renewal into yourself. Historians still debate whether the Romans borrowed their water systems from earlier civilizations or whether their design was entirely their own genius. But here's the funny thing. Your body doesn't really debate whether there's either to borrow energy from the past or grow it anew. It just does. Every breath in is borrowed oxygen from ancient trees. Every exhale is a contribution to tomorrow. You are, in a very real sense, a living aqueduct, taking in the stream of energy, filtering it through yourself, and releasing what you no longer need. And speaking of filtering, let's take a moment to laugh at the odd fact that some medieval doctors once prescribed special wine as a cure for fatigue. Not just any wine, wine infused with herbs, honey, or occasionally powdered gemstones. Imagine showing up to your doctor today, saying you're tired, and being handed a chalice of ruby dust and Merlot. You'd probably wonder if they were the doctor or just running a side business as a medieval barista. Still, their clumsy efforts reflect a timeless truth. Humans have always sought ways to recharge, to bounce back from exhaustion, to remember that life has joy at its center, and that's what you feel now. Joy quietly weaving in. Self back into yourselves. Not a loud, bouncing joy, but a subtle, glowing ember deep in your chest. The kind of joy that says, "You're okay. You've made it this far. You're still here. And being here is enough. More than enough." Your mind drifts, warm and slow, to the rhythm of waves on a shore. It's always the same, the eternal pattern of in and out, breath and release. Just like your breath, just like your heart. And in that steady rhythm, the last remnants of fatigue slip away. They don't belong here anymore. What belongs is renewal, fresh as dawn light. And in this state, your thoughts soften. You don't have to think about tomorrow or next week or the endless to-do list that once loomed so large. All of it fades. Your body knows how to heal in the background. Your mind knows how to dream itself whole. And the night knows how to cradle you, keeping you safe while the energy of the world slowly, tenderly recharges you. So now, let yourself dissolve into that comfort. Let the scient aqueduct of your breath carry you into dreams. Let the humor of powdered gemstone medicine remind you not to take your exhaustion too seriously. Let history's arguments about where renewal comes from remind you that it doesn't matter. You are already feeling it return. The world waits for you, yes, but not tonight. Tonight, you rest. Tonight, you renew. Tonight, you are infinite. Slowly now, as the words blur and your thoughts grow soft, slip beneath the tide of sleep. Your breath is the ocean, your body the shore, your mind the drifting boat, rocking gently in the waves. Everything is safe. Everything is restored. Everything is whole. Sleep, my friend. Deep, blissful, recharging sleep. And now, as the story drifts to its end, you notice how soft everything has become. The air itself feels like velvet against your skin. The mattress beneath you no longer feels like a surface, but like a cloud gently lifting you. The rhythm of your breath is slower, longer, like waves stretched across a calm horizon, and each exhale empties you of anything heavy, anything unnecessary. Your body has done all it needs for tonight. The exhaustion that once pressed on your shoulders has dissolved into nothingness, leaving behind only warmth. You no longer need to search for energy. It is already here, woven into your heartbeat, your breath, your very bones. Renewal is not a thing to chase. It is a thing you've already welcomed in, softly, without effort, simply by allowing yourself to rest. The mind quiets too. Thoughts that once darted like restless birds now fold their wings, nestling into stillness. The world outside your room continues to turn, but here, within this cocoon of sleep, you are untouchable. Time itself loosens its grip. You are held by the present moment, and the present moment is enough. Imagine the last image you carry into sleep. The gentle shimmer of moonlight over water, or the faint hum of starlight spread across the sky. Let it blur, let it fade, let yourself dissolve into it completely. Sleep now, my friend. Sleep deeply. Sleep beautifully.